blue belt, like be like, I'll never bowl, like, and purposely trying to like not learn it and add it to my game. And then now I'm like, why are you so dumb? I was like, why wouldn't you just try to learn? And like, I just want to win. So I wouldn't like put an emphasis on like actually like learning. And only now, like 10 years into it, I'm looking back and like, well, that was probably a mistake. So
yeah, but that's growing pains, right? You're always going to look back and like, you're such a fucking idiot. Why didn't I learn how to wrestle back then or whatever, right?
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh, it's jiu-jitsu. I don't need to learn how to wrestle. I'll just do judo or whatever, right?
I'm still looking in the mirror like, why didn't you learn how to wrestle, you pussy? Stop grabbing lapels and sitting down.
Oh, brutal. I remember training with Marco. We had Elvis. Fortunately, I don't remember his last name, but the guy was like Olympic caliber wrestler, and he would run classes once a week. And I was like, I don't need to go to those classes. I was so mad at myself.
Yeah,
like, I'm such an idiot.
Wild. And like it just like seems like so obvious looking back, like, oh, that's like a portion of my game that's like incomplete, you know, and I could invest the time and get better and become better as an athlete and be like, no, I'm gonna drill this like leg drag that I've been drilling for the last like whatever X amount of months or whatever. Judo too, same thing. I was like wrestling's really like more like judo's inferior to wrestling, and I did like basically 6 months of wrestling, so I'm set like for my entire jiu-jitsu career now, you know, like 6 months of wrestling put me ahead of most people's like basic jiu-jitsu wrestling. I don't need to learn judo. And now I'm like, oh man, judo's pretty sick. Like I wish I had spent more time like working on that, you know. So, but still young, I guess.
So so you brought up some like good points. How would you, if you were going back in time to your blue belt self, what would you tell them? What would you tell, what would you tell yourself? But also like, how would you structure your training, or how has that changed from what you're doing now to like versus when you were training when you were like a blue belt?
Yeah, so wild. I think about this very often. It keeps me up at night, actually. So I think about like, I feel like I literally wasted from blue belt to like brown even. I feel like all that time was just wasted potential of like showing up, like seeing a room full of guys and be like, Briars, you and me are rolling. Like just roll with all the hard guys, war with them, like, and just only try and win. And then after the roll,
I remember that.
and then after,
I'm just
like, there's no reflecting, there's no looking back and being like, what could I have done better? Where did the roll go wrong? Like, what could I have improved on? Oh, what did Mike do that was so cool that like I can take away from that? It was just like, fuck, I lost. Like, I'm a pussy, or just being like, I'm the best, I won, you know. It was like never for any sort of growth or like trying to better yourself. It was always just 100% results of the rolls and like live or die off that. Like my day would be ruined if I had bad rolls, like. And so it's like, if anything, you want to lose in the training. So you'd be like, oh, that was cool, how did this guy pass my guard, how did this guy do that? Instead of like thinking about it, I would just like, just go harder. I had like one particular moment that will like be forever ingrained in my memory, is I rolled with Brent, and he's like 6'6", was always technically like just he understood it, and I'm still just trying to win. And we had a roll, and he triangled me, and I remember just thinking like, fuck, like, all right, go hard again. We reset, and I just went hard, and he triangled me the exact same way. And in that moment, I probably should have been like, how's he doing this? What's he catching? And instead I was like, well, I'm going to kill him now. Now it's for real though. And we just reset, and then he just triangled me again. And like, and the sad thing is like, I only remembered and learned from that like years later. It's not even like I went home later and was like, wow, I need to improve. I was just like, man, I'm coming for him. But I didn't stop and think like, how's he doing this? What am I doing wrong? What's he doing? Like, you know, how's he catching me in this position? And it was at least 3 back-to-back triangles, like sequence exact same every single time. And like, it didn't even occur to me to stop and think like, how do you do that? You know, I just was like, just right away, just keep going. Where's, and as soon as that round's done, I'm like, fuck, I lost. All right, where's Darcy? Where's the next best guy to roll with? Like, you know, and instead of like, you know, just applying what you could learn in that round. So stupid, but I still think about it. And you can see I'm like passionate about it because it still bothers me that like this didn't even start happening until like maybe like, I don't know, a year, 2 years ago. Like I feel like even like right before the pandemic, I was like, wow, I can actually like learn stuff instead of just trying to kill people and like, you know, and basing my sole existence off how the result of one round goes, you know. So
So basically, you're trying to be like the king of gym wins.
Basically, always.
Like, oh, I tapped that guy out. He's a purple belt. I'm a blue belt. Where's my fucking purple belt?
Yeah,
That
I don't know.
sucks.
Like,
He's a pussy.
I feel like for sure George was like, for sure there was many lectures where he was like, guys, there's no podium, like blah blah. And I'm probably like standing in the lineup thinking like, but if there was, I'd be like somewhere on that podium. You know, I was like totally not like missing the point completely. Like, you know, I'm for sure there was many speeches where he gave where he was for sure like, please Mosleh, like take something from this speech. And I for sure was just staring at him like nodding like yeah. And then everything was just right over my head, and it was back to warring it out the next day again, you know.
Thanks everybody for watching. And remember, don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep training, and we'll see you on the mat.